Hello and welcome back everybody to another wonderful season of Cooking with Sun King. It is I, Chef Steven, here at the Fisher's Test Kitchen to bring you a delicious falafel recipe featuring Exquisite Octopus. We're gonna knock this out in about 3 parts. We're gonna do the falafel itself, and while those are baking, we're gonna make this really nice and easy dill yogurt sauce, and then we're gonna assemble everything. So just quick 3 easy parts. So for step 1, we want to soak these falafels. Since they aren't as big as a chickpea or a bean or anything else, you can actually do this right before you leave for work. We're looking for no more than about 12 hours of soak time, and then as few as 8. Cool? Awesome. Once those are soaked, we want to rinse off that liquid. And then we're going to add a nice bevy of spices and some vegetables. Again, this is an amazing vegetarian recipe that you can do at home. It's quick and easy. We're going to add some cumin, an onion, a little bit of garlic, and then some parsley and cilantro. That's where that beautiful kind of green color will come from that we see in our falafel. And then to kind of bind it all together, just a little baking powder to make them nice and light and fluffy. A little bit of cornstarch to kind of hold it all together. Also gluten-free, which is pretty fun. And then we'll bake them in the oven. So we are just going to cover these in equal parts Exquisite Octopus Hazy IPA and a little bit of water. And as previously mentioned, we want to let this sit for a minimum of 8 hours, no more than 12. Definitely don't want to go longer than a day, and you can just cover this lightly with a nice little piece of plastic wrap. Let this sit on your counter, and by the time you're back from work, they'll be ready to go. So while those are soaking and you're kind of getting everything else ready, we just need to do a little bit of chopping. That includes 4 cloves of garlic, half of a medium onion or 1 whole small onion, a bunch of cilantro, and 1 bunch of Italian parsley. The really nice thing about all of this is that we don't need perfect dice on any of it. We are going to take all of these ingredients, including the lentils and some spices, and put them in batches in a food processor to chop everything up. So we are just looking for rough chop on pretty much everything. So we will just give this a nice light chop. Our 4 cloves of garlic here, we are just going to smash because again, that food processor is going to do all the work. This just makes it a little easier. Perfect. Stems and all, totally fine. Again, we're going to have the food processor do all of the work here. And we've got some beautiful Italian flat leaf parsley. So we've got these beautifully soaked lentils. They do double in size, so just kind of think about that when you're preparing this. We did 1 pound of lentils, and this is going to make quite a bit of falafel, probably enough for about 6 to 8 people. We will then add our onions, garlic, parsley, and cilantro. Onions and garlic. Gorgeous. Awesome. So, and then on top of that, we just need to season with some cumin, and then our salt and pepper. A good couple tablespoons of olive oil. This is our only chance to add some nice fat and a little bit of moisture into there. So we're just going to use our squeeze bottle here and give it a good couple circles right around the bowl. This will also help them crisp up in the oven really nice. Last but not least, a little bit of baking powder and some cornstarch. Cornstarch is going to help bind everything. The baking powder is going to make them nice and light. We just need to then mix this all together. So in about 2 to 3 batches in our food processor, we just want to puree this until it's about the size of some coarse sand. That is going to allow for a really beautiful texture in our falafel. All right, our falafel mixture is ready to go into the food processor. Judging by the size here, it'll be about 2 to 3 rounds. We'll load about half of this into our food processor. Pop the top on. To get this started, we'll just give it a couple pulses. And once we see it's coming together, we can really just let it rip for just about 15 to 20 seconds. We will scrape down once just to make sure everything's evenly combined. Let it go for just another couple seconds. We will evacuate that into a clean bowl. We do just want to give all of this one quick stir, just because we did it in 2 separate batches. We want to make sure they're evenly combined. What we need to do next is just take a nice little cookie scoop. I think this is about a 2-ouncer, and we're going to scoop these directly onto a sheet pan. You don't really want to mess with these too much. It is a pretty fragile falafel, but once they bake, they'll all adhere together and be perfectly golden brown and delicious. When I'm scooping these, I just like to make sure it's nice and level, and then I'll just place it directly on the sheet pan, scoop it out, and we're just gonna leave it right there. The sheet pan has been lightly pan sprayed, but we should just be able to pop all these out, and we'll get them in the oven. Step 2, the yogurt. So while our falafel are baking, as previously mentioned, we want to make a quick little dill yogurt sauce. And this is, again, super easy, just a couple of ingredients. So to get started, we just want to chop up some dill. We've got this really beautiful organic baby dill from Shenandoah Farms. We're going to use about half of this package. Obviously, if you love dill, you can use a little bit more. Not a big dill fan. That's no big deal. It's all good. You can use whatever you want. Parsley, tarragon, honestly, it all is great. And we're not even, this is so nice and tender, we're not even going to worry about trying to pick all the little fronds off. We are just going to run a knife straight through and then add it to our yogurt. So in our bowl, beautiful grass grazed yogurt from Snowville Creamery. This is a whole fat milk yogurt. Again, if you want to make this totally vegan, you can use whatever substitute you like, but we just love the tanginess, how creamy this is, and it's overall just a delicious thing against those really crispy falafel. Awesome. And to lightly tame the tang, we're just going to use a little bit more of our olive oil. This just kind of smooths the whole thing out and really adds just a nice like velvety texture to this yogurt. So just about a tablespoon or so. Perfect. Our fresh dill. And then, as always, just a little bit of salt and pepper. We mix. You can absolutely do this when you make your falafel and then just let this sit in the fridge until you're ready to eat. As always, we'll give a little taste. Hell yeah. Step 3, the assembly. We're gonna take our Torre's pita flatbreads. We're just gonna cut those in half. The pocket's already there, so it's ready to go. We're gonna stuff that with some beautiful spring mix, some freshly sliced cucumber, our falafel, and then we're gonna top the whole thing off with that delicious dill yogurt sauce, a nice sprinkling of good feta cheese, and then we're gonna stick it in our mouth. Today's beer, Exquisite Octopus IPA, wonderful little hazy IPA, available at all of your favorite Sun King locations, on draft, of course, to consume on site or to take home and make delicious lentil falafel. So find it near you. So that's it for our delicious lentil falafel made with Exquisite Octopus Hazy IPA. And as always, we want to thank, of course, our great friends here at the Fisher's Test Kitchen for letting us have this beautiful space. And then, of course, our great friends at Green Bean Delivery for all of the amazing ingredients, as always. If you want this recipe and all of the other delicious Cooking with Sun King recipes, head to the links below. You're going to find a lot of stuff down there. Merch, Sun King stuff, Green Bean stuff. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. We, of course, always appreciate if you're following along and we see those likes. We take them and hold them tightly and next to our hearts. And those subscribe buttons will let you know when we have a brand new video coming out throughout the year. And that's it for us today. So we hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the flip side.